So my question is for them who has no prior knowledge of astrology or numerology. So
Yeah.
what methodology should that particular person choose? Is it the astrology, numerology, meditation?
When you see your chart, you understand your Mercury is in the bad position and you have the adverse effect. So better you study your chart yourself. At least basic knowledge. You don't need to go into deep. At least you need to understand what planets are good in your chart, what planets are bad.
So in today's session, we will go through those numerology and astrology part. But for the betterment for our audience, we will split it into two groups so that they can watch it with their free time and when they have enough time to spend on, rather than spending full time in one session. So I
Yeah,
think that's
that's fine.
absolutely fine with you as well.
Yeah, that's fine. It's up to you. Anyway, I am enjoying talking with you either on camera or off camera. It doesn't matter. So,
Yes, thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. So let's start with the numerology part. So if we focus on numerology, it is a very ancient science for reading divine, messages, as along with astrology. So can you please give some lights on what is numerology and how it can help us?
numerology is, again, if we call it, is a part of predictive science. So, it is just another tool for prediction and doing, knowing about how the life is, what is going on, what we should follow, what we should not follow. So it is just another tool for doing all those predictions. Yeah, it is easier, much simpler than astrology, although it is a part of astrology. But it is a very, very simpler part of astrology. Here, you just follow numbers, try to understand the numbers, their planetary connection with your life, and that's all. So it is easy for people who are very, who don't have any basic knowledge of astrology, who are just a beginner, who wanted to know, a simple people, a layman can go and just with quite very little, understanding of all planets, impacts of the planets, understanding numbers, and he can start predicting his life. He can start predicting the events of his life and take the guidance from there.
Right. Thank you for explaining that. So is astrology is difficult or numerology is easier? Is it something like that?
Say, when you talk difficult or easier, there is nothing called as difficult and there is nothing which is easier. It depends on person to person how they take it. It
Right.
is the perception of the people. And for somebody, mathematics is easier. For somebody, it is difficult. So it's all
Mhm.
about that.
Right.
Yes, if we call in astrology, there are many layers where you need to go deeper and deeper because it's a huge science. So numerology is a simpler form, a very smaller form of uh, same astrology part of the astrological tool, basically. And if you call it like astrology is a sea or ocean, you can call it, and numerology is just a pound. So
Got
you
it.
can imagine. So there is nothing like you can call it simpler or difficult. It is a smaller part of astrology. So for a common man who don't want to go deep into astrology, who don't want to go into those kind of understanding what is planets, what are houses, in deep houses, then nakshatra, then padas, it is simple form. You can study numbers, connect those numbers with planetary energy, and understand about their own life. So it's a how. This is how you can do it there.
Right. Thank you for explaining that. So suppose a person only knows about his birth date, no time or place. So in that case, uh, which method would be appropriate for him, numerology or astrology?
See, if person knows only date of birth and he want to calculate only simple about himself, what the simple events are going to happen in his life, how he should react to those events, then it is easier for him to go for numerology. But I would not say that in astrology you cannot go without time of birth. There are certain methods in astrology as well where you can find out what was your time of birth. There are certain method you can do BTR, you can do if you know some approximate like in afternoon you had born, or you have 2 hours gap that within from this time to this time I think I was born. Then in astrology you can do BTR and then you can find out the time. But yes, that is again what I said. It's astrology is an ocean. So if you want to deep dive into ocean, that's another thing. But if you need a simple prediction, simple, very simple, you want to find out about yourself, what is going to happen, what incidents are coming, how you should react to certain situation, then numerology is the best.
Okay. Now we have a question for our audience, because who are joining with us, most of them are into beginner level into astrology or spirituality and in this domain. So
Mhm.
my question is for them who has no prior knowledge of astrology or numerology. So,
Yeah.
what methodology should that particular person choose? Is it the astrology, numerology, meditation? And there are lots of things. So, as a life coach, what's your opinion and suggestion for our audience?
Yeah. All those field, what you say is astrology, numerology, spiritual, they are different. At the same time, they are integral part of each other.
Right,
So meditation is to understand inner self. So that has nothing to do astrology, nothing to do numerology, nothing to do anything. It is just a different form of understanding self, increasing your concentration, and to making your life better. When you come about predictive science, which I told before, which is astrology, numerology, and everything, they all are predictive science. When you come to this side, if somebody want to start and want to understand whether astrology is for me or not, you know, then it is better to start with numerology so that he can understand what exactly it is happening there, what kind of science it is, whether it is, in astrological world, what we call, you don't choose astrology, astrology choose you.
right,
And to go for that, first you need to understand what exactly it is. If you feel like after learning numerology, which is very simpler form, and you feel like no, it is not for me, it is very complicated, then it is, yeah, fine for you. Just understand the numbers, understand simple planetary connections, and then leave that there. But after that, you feel interesting, like how I started myself with numerology.
right,
Then I feel start more interested, and and then I start diving deeper and deeper and deeper, and I go up to the like. Still, it is not finished, and it will never finish. But I keep on studying everything. So now for me has started numerology. Then I had gone for handwriting analysis, signature analysis. Then I gone for BNN. Then I go for KPA astrology. It, it's it's a lot of thing. I had gone for Vastu. It's never ending.
right.
It's
So,
never ending there.
I just want to add my personal experience as well. So, I started with meditation, and then later on I found that there are some kind of knowledge, sacred knowledge, which we can use as predictive part. And then I started to learn numerology, and later on I started learning astrology and what all other things what you have just told.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most of the people does that. Most of the people, they first start a numerology because that is the first easiest part for everybody to go and look into it.
right,
Let's see what is there. That interest, when that interest start building in us, let's see what this predictive science does. So
right,
where to go? Oh, as soon as we open the astrological book, we start, oh, this planets, is aspect there. There is this nakshatra. Then you feel, no, no, no. And at the meanwhile, you come across numerology. You feel, oh, it's very easy. Just calculate the numbers, find out their planetary connection, and you have at least 10 things you can understand in your daily life. So that built your interest going into that. And once you built your interest there, and you feel like it is yours, you know, and you want to go deeper, then nothing is difficult for you. So then you start opening all the layers, then you start everything, and then you go deeper. But as you said that you started from meditation, not everybody start from meditation and everything.
right.
People
Yes,
start directly from numerology, and no everybody who's doing meditation are interested in this predictive science, because sometimes
absolutely.
people who goes into meditation, they got disconnected with everything, that I don't want to know anything. you
Right.
know
Yes.
for them it all become myth. Why I should know? What life
Mm-hmm.
is going.
Right. I absolutely agree with you because sometimes the detachment part kicks in, and then probably for them that predictive part makes no
No
sense
sense.
anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Thank you for explaining that part. So I want to share another experience. What I have felt that numerology is faster. I mean, give your faster result right away if you are comparing it with our regular astrological reading is also giving fast result, no doubt, but when you have your numbers in front of you, you can just look at those numbers and get a very quick predictive things or the decision what you need to make. So it's my personal opinion, but what's your thought on that?
No, you are absolutely right, because many times you don't have person's date of birth, time of birth, sorry. And then it is difficult for you to get his birth chart and everything. Sometimes you are in such position where you cannot build the birth chart. You are not in front of some app or some software where you can just take out the date of uh, his birth chart, natal chart.
Right.
Then yes, it is good to get his date of birth, calculate all those numbers, and see what the numbers are saying. It is much easier and much faster. But again, I will say that numerology is not a complete science. It is a part of predictive, a smaller tool of the predictive science. So yes, you can get many results out of that, fast result out of that, but those results are not complete in itself.
Right. I have some question regarding astronumerology now. So,
Mhm.
which I learned from you a little bit regarding name correction when you were teaching us that how to do name correction. Then astronumerology kicks in, and it just blown my mind, like how astrology and numerology are comes together. So, can you please give some of your magical words on that?
See, as I said, numerology is not a complete science. Okay. It's a smaller tool of predictive science. So when you do any kind of analysis based on numerology, that will not give you result incomplete. That is in half result. And something like a name change, which is one of the major event of your life. It's not like you are doing daily work where you can just apply your numerology and do your daily work and predict something for your daily routine things.
Right.
It is something you are changing fundamentally in yourself. And then you apply something which is half can give you very, very wrong results sometimes. It can impact adversely sometimes to you. So that's why I was blessed with my teacher who has made me learn astronumerology, connecting astrology with numerology, some of the astrological part to get better result out of that. Although there as well, we are not going into very deep, but still we get much better results uh, than only and purely on basis of numerology. I will give an example on this, just for example, like name change. We find based on numerology, his Molank and Bhagyank, what we call, is favorable to him. So we find that, okay, let's put her name based on that. And the most common in numerology is that when you could not find anything, put anybody's name on number five. Yeah, which is the balancing number as per the numerology, and it don't give any adverse impact and this. And also, if you do not find anything, put number five, it will give you good result. But at the same time, that person is having, because number five represent Mercury. And in his birth chart, if Mercury is bad position, that will give him very adverse effect of that name. So that's why the half knowledge always kills. And
Right.
you are changing your impact, a big impact of your life, changing the name and putting name on Mercury, and then your life is going different direction after that.
Right. It's like giving paracetamol for everything.
Yes, it's just like in my earlier our earlier talk, I told that giving paracetamol for everything. Yes, it will affect you in smaller things, in smaller pain, but it what adverse impact it will give, you don't know.
Right. So that's a very interesting part. Uh, so for our audience, can you please tell them whether we have any kind of platform to learn numerology or astronumerology, or do you provide any kind of platform for our audience where they can learn?
Yeah, it's same Gala Wisdom what we talked last time. On Gala Wisdom, we are giving coaching on numerology and astronumerology. So basic is numerology to understand numbers, their planetary connections, their characteristic of all numbers and planets. And when we go to advanced level, we connect those numerology with astrology, and then we teach all our students how to go dive deeper and do those connections. When it comes about changing the numbers, some important events of the life, if you want to find out, then it is better to take help of astrology. Should not depend only and only purely on numerology.
Thank you for providing that information. And another thing, should a person go to astrologer or learn those numerology, astrology, or those kind of things by themselves? What's your opinion on that?
I would suggest everybody should do that. Why to go to astrologer and ask every time that what is going to happen and please predict, and why to spend money? Just spend money one time, learn by yourself, do for yourself. That is better for you. And again, when you do by yourself, specifically when you are learning or just for small events of your life, you should know by yourself up to numerology or astronumerology, you should know that, you know. So you can calculate yourself. So, for example, if you are in the stage where you had just finished your college, your education, and now you want to decide where I should go, what job I should pick. Yeah. It is better to do your own calculation based on numerology, based on astronumerology. I will not say numerology, based on astronumerology, and check which field is good for you so that you can start your career from the beginning into that. When the somebody is going after college for a management trainee or a graduate trainee, they should start their career into that field so that they can build their career according to their chart, which will help. You know, so I would suggest everybody to learn by themselves.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you because nowadays, if you look into YouTube or Facebook or any other social media, you will see that people are talking about different kind of things. I mean, regarding numerology or astrology, that do this, do that, and then at the end of the day, those are not also making sense to us. Uh, for most of the audience, if they're uh, being logical rather than accepting everything what other people are saying, so for them probably they will get a litmus test if they learn astrology or numerology by themselves and then proceed with those kind of prediction what other people are doing, whether that part is making sense or not. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely right. And this is where we discussed last time on signature. We are discussing now in numerology, same thing. Like what you mentioned here, a lot of noise is going on. Not everybody, I don't say that everybody is there, but there are a lot of noise going on, like change your name, put your name on this, like I just given an example of putting your
Number
name on
five.
Mercury, number five, which is very, very common for everybody. And then when you see your chart, you understand your Mercury is in the bad position and you have the adverse effect. So better you study your chart yourself. At least basic knowledge. You don't need to go into deep. At least you need to understand what planets are good in your chart, what planets are bad. And then connect with numerology, which is one of the simplest form to learn, and make your life easier rather than listening those YouTube or whatever the videos are around, what information is around, half information, trust on them and spoil your life.
Right. Thank you, Prabhaji, for giving us time and discussing all those things on numerology. And I would request our audience who wants to learn astrology, you can contact with Prabhaji and also the Gala Wisdom. In the description, you can find the whole details. So in the next session, we will discuss about more into astrology part. So till then, bye.
Bye.